Hey, good morning, everyone. It's May 31st, 2022. I'm at Ace Hardware, and I did all that routing yesterday on my workbench, and I did some sanding as well, but now that I did the sanding, there's a little bit of unevenness. Excuse me, it's early, just opened. So I wanted to get a big, I think they're the Stanley number 8 block plane, bench plane. They're huge. They're about this size. But yeah, I also need, all of my planes got stolen, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this one back. And I guess we'll have to go to Woodcraft or something to get the big one. Apparently they're hard to find. All right, so apparently I'm on a mission today. This is the first pawn shop I'm hitting up, but I've been at 2 different Home Depots, Ace Hardware and Lowe's, and they do not have any Stanley planes. There's a guy on Craigslist that has a bunch of them for sale for a good price, but he has not responded back yet. So let's check out some pawn shops. All right, well, the guy on Craigslist came through and got myself a really, really nice Stanley. This is the number 5 hand plane, bench plane. I just finished planing the bottom of the workbench, and it actually doesn't look terrible. It's nice and level now. Of course, after routing, you have all these weird little machine marks and mill marks and everything from that. But this hand plane knocks it all down, and I could leave it like this, or I can actually finish sand it. But before I do any of that, I'm gonna go ahead and put the roundover bit on the router, and I'm gonna knock the edge off all the way around. Then we'll have a nice smooth piece. And yeah, after we finish sand, we can actually seal it with some linseed oil. But of course we still have to epoxy. I didn't even get my epoxy yet. Look at this knot. It's actually loose, you see that? So all those have to be chiseled out and filled. But yeah, for 2x4s and 3 days of work, that'll last a lifetime. Also, it's already 6 p.m., so a lot of driving today. It rained, so traffic was really stupid, and I had to drive out to Denver. It was like rush hour, so that knocked off 2-3 hours off of the day just driving to get this thing. And then plus in the morning, driving around looking for this thing at Home Depot and Lowe's and Ace Hardware. And yeah, I didn't really get too much done today. I was excited about getting this thing though and surfacing this, finalizing it almost. And I guess that's pretty much all I got. I know Heather is in the kitchen. She is cooking dinner. I really would like to get this floor in. Oh, that's what I purchased. I purchased some self-leveling concrete, the self-leveling, the polymer stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill all these gaps and cracks. And then I'm gonna put up the foam tape barrier. And then that way we can pour the concrete, and it's gonna level out any kind of unevenness, because even though it's solid, I could just kind of tell that there's little dips and stuff that I can't quite do anything about or tell exactly where they are. So the self-leveling mix is gonna take care of that problem before I put the floor in. All right, well, since we only had 3 minutes of footage there, let's go ahead and let me fix this real quick. I think that'll work like that. Yeah, why not? All right, here we go. Comments. Bo Bob says, thanks, man. Carl says, well, now I don't have to send an email and tell you how to build a router surface planing jig. The only thing I did different was add guides to it so the router stays perpendicular to the surface. Festival, I applied your choice of tools. Yeah, no. So that router surface planing jig is just two boards that were not even completely straight. They were just two pieces of pine, but they were a heck of a lot straighter than anything else that I had in the shop. So I don't have any big long level, like there's like 5 times a day in the shop when I'm like, oh man, I wish I had a nice long straight edge or a piece of aluminum, something perfectly straight. But I do not have that. But thank you for thinking about me, and yeah, I appreciate that. Carl, Viceroy, now that's a workbench. It's almost a workbench, and it will be. It will be an awesome one. That sled gave me an idea for resurfacing my big, hard-to-move dining table. It's been bugging me for years, and I've been out of ideas. That will definitely fix the warp. Probably temporarily, because if it's warping in one direction, it'll probably continue, and it'll eventually crack in the wherever the pit of it is. So I would reinforce the back of it first, and then yeah, you could totally resurface it like that, refinish it, and the only difference is underneath where you put like bracing in the back to keep it from warping anymore. That's the only difference. So plus it'll look a million times better. Thanks for commenting, Viceroy. I appreciate it. Tarnished Viking says, oh, she made spaghetti and garlic bread and meat sauce. It was pretty good. Tarnished Viking, I'm pining over your Pennsyltucky kitchen island. Oh yeah, yes, it's a Pennsyltucky kitchen island. That's basically what it is. It's like it's kind of like a kitchen island. But I mean, dude, buying one of those, anything like that, you guys probably know how much stuff like that costs. You go to Home Depot and you see something like this at much lesser quality. They want like $800 for something like this. I don't even have to make guitars. I could just make these things. You know what I mean? The wood shop is going to pay for itself no matter what. I just prefer to build guitars. There's a challenge there because people hold you accountable and people are expecting perfection, and it's like it's not easy to build guitars. It's very easy to mess up, right? Raymond, I keep watching you doing an assortment of chores. Then it dawned on me why I and probably others enjoy watching you. It's because you're an overdoer. You don't move on until every little thing has been done on your last project, and then you still go back and change. It's your compassion for doing a job well done. I think everybody appreciates that. Blurry vision, reason for the caps. Okay, awesome, Raymond. And when you say that, you got to remember, I have a camera and I'm editing these videos, and I can make it seem like it's easier and stuff, but I get what you're saying. I want things to be done right, and it's like, and the thing is, when I do work for other people, my standard is even higher, because with myself, I can cut corners in these projects that you see here, but I wouldn't be able to sleep right at night. So I try to do, not my best, but I try to do a good enough job where I can get to the next step. But just like the floor in the YouTube studio, I'm going to be redoing it again. I'm going to be pouring, because it's not perfect. I do want it to be nice. So I'm going to put that floor leveling compound on there just so I can see what I missed, basically. Because when you walk in there, you can tell there's like it's not perfect, right? That's the only way I can explain. It's not perfect, and I would like it to be as close to perfect as possible. But I appreciate the comment, and I'll keep doing it. Leaf binder. That's cool, Shane. You ought to see some of my early wax paintings. They was so bad I would spend hours burning my fingers, remelting the wax and tinkering with it. He's talking about my first electric guitar video when I showed that one off. They would get too cold on the edges and end up breaking in the oven. Doing something right is better than doing it a lot of wrong ones. Yes, but it's only human error. That axe didn't turn out too bad. It's almost the color of my current bass. Great videos. Always keep having fun. Life's too short to be worried about stuff. Yeah. No, now this guitar, the Reptile design, if you guys haven't seen that video, KleshGuitars, the first electric guitar I ever built, go check it out. It's, I don't know how many minutes, I don't even know, but it's the very first attempt at building anything really that makes sound like a guitar. So that's why there's there's EMGs in it, active electronics. basically, it's an alder body. It's a flame maple top. You can put, I mean, technically, if I put passive pickups in there, it would probably sound all right. I just don't want to change it because it's like the very first attempt. Anyway, thanks for the comment, Leaf Binder. 1349, nice. Yes. How did you know? 538. Plus the oh, yeah. Right there, you can see what I'm listening to. Yes, that band is great. I was hoping I didn't have any kind of like copyright strike stuff going on, but yes, I've been listening to a lot of black metal lately. Yeah, a lot of black metal. Don't say my name, I mean it. Maybe you can use a magnet to keep your sander door closed. Got it. Great jig. Are you the guy who originally commented that? I think you might be. I don't know. Brilliant idea using the pre-cut 3x2. Pre-cut 3x2s. Trying to think what you mean. I'm sorry. I can't remember. That was yesterday's video. That's a long time ago for me. It's been a whole new crazy day, even though I didn't film much. And this video is probably going to make it to like the 20-minute mark again because I'm just rambling. John Pierce. I just got done removing the previous homeowner's workbench from my garage. Replaced it with a big rolling tool chest for now. Gonna have to build something real for my vise though. Thinking I'll remove the wheels from the toolbox and build it into the wooden frame that will hold my bench. That could work. You're well on your way to having a functional shop space. I know, man. The workbench is like the most used tool in the entire shop, right? And it's hard to build a workbench when you don't have a workbench. GDNS is here. Incredible bench. Magnets are definitely the best solution to that door issue. It is brilliant. I agree. Totally agree. Duke Nukem. Really like the workbench. If you don't mind, may steal the idea for our cabin countertops. Oh, that would make a great cabin countertop. If you have some 2x4s, man, instead of spending, like I said, the $800 for something like that, you can totally make one of these yourself. Yeah, it's going to last forever, and they look pretty nice, especially after it's going to be finished with linseed oil. It'll be great. MS is a girl. Did you guys know that? I did not know that until she said something like, "I'm a girl, by the way." I was like, "Oh, welcome to the show." David Simon, hope you had a good Memorial Day. Thanks again for your service. Thank you very much, David. That bench will last you a lifetime, no question. Yes, hopefully it does. And the thing is, I'll probably get, what's going to happen is I'll find like a whole bunch of maple or something at a yard sale, and then I'll have to rebuild it in maple, because this is just premium whitewood 2x4s, you know? If I could do it in maple, that's like $1,000 worth of raw wood if it's maple. But if I find a lot of maple at a yard sale, you know that I'll be building a workbench out of that. But yes, regardless, it would last forever. Milestone 74, thank you for discussing the case first instead of rushing to the guitar. Oh, he's talking about the 50s Fender Stratocaster video. I wanted to see the Made in USA G&G label inside the case, and you showed it. Strangely, neither Sweetwater or even the Fender website are clear about which tweed case it comes with. There are two versions of the case at $199 and $299. No problem, man. I like when people comment on my older, different videos. That's pretty cool. Sean, I have 4 of those clamps. My old woodshop teacher said you'll never go wrong with a set of those clamps. I still use them to this day, making awesome progress. Jane, carry on. Yeah. Oh, he's talking about the Jorgensen I-beam clamps. They are indestructible. Oh, actually, I have broken one before. I take like a big 1-inch wrench, you know, and that's what I use to crank them down, to tighten them. And I've cranked them down so hard that I actually cracked the cast iron handle off of one. But so they aren't indestructible, but they're pretty darn close. Joni says, at my dad's shop there was a machinist who would fabricate anything. I bet that there would be one somewhere in your area, maybe even Arbor Oh, you're right. Arbor Fabricating. I wonder if they're pretty specialized in what they do, but I could definitely ask Chad over at Arbor Fabricating if he could help out with that. This guy has a Les Paul as a avatar, and I'm talking crap about this Les Paul that I bought. Let's see what he has to say here. Question: are the tuners on your guitar Keystone or Grover? For me, I prefer Grover. Do you have a preference? I don't know what they are. I think they're just the Gibson ones. I think they're just the Gibson ones. I don't have a preference. This guy's going to be asking questions I'm going to have to type back here, I think. Greg DeStefano also says, also on this model, I don't think you have the pull knob to go from humbucking the single coil. Correct, I do not. I love the T-burst. It's really amazing. Also wondering if the nut is bone or nylon, and which nut do you prefer better? Definitely bone. Definitely bone. I spelled definitely wrong, but I can right-click that and fix it. Boom. Greg also asks, I agree with a lot of the points you made. I know that post-COVID hiring quality workers is tough, but that shouldn't be a crutch or excuse for build quality, something you're spending a lot of money on. Yeah, totally, man. John Schmidt says, Happy Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to you, John. Peas Doc says, crazy, we just had 2 hailstorms within about a week here in Philly. That's awesome the way you designed your shop, so everything is movable. Yeah, it's not... Dude, that... sander, the big tall green one, the Shang wide belt sander, even though it's on wheels, that thing is so heavy, man. It takes, like, I still have to get the jack to move it even though it's on wheels, but at least I can move it now. That thing is a monster. Anthony says, hey Shane, maybe you mentioned this before, but do you make acoustic or electric guitars or both? So right now I don't make anything, but I'm going to be tooling up to build electrics first, and then the ultimate goal in a couple years will be acoustics as well. I say a couple years, and I always, even like when I'm doing repairs, I'll tell everybody 2 weeks, but then I won't be able to sleep until it's done, so it'll be like 1 day. So I always like push things out, but now that I have like a full functioning shop, and I'm relying on others like truckers and other people to get things rolling, it's like I have to like really push it out there. So who knows? Sooner the better, right? Justin American says, hey, I finally got time to watch all your progress while I was panning a bucket of material. It's turning out to be awesome looking garage. Yeah, Lowe's is a little lower quality customer service. I worked there and they kept laying off people, so the people who weren't laid off there do 3 jobs at a time. It's terrible. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks, Justin American. And yeah, I worked at Lowe's in West Hazelton, Pennsylvania. I worked at that Lowe's in like 2010, 2011. Like, it was I had 3 jobs at the time, like 3 actual. I had my guitar repair shop. I was working at Hawk Mountain Labs in West Hazelton, Pennsylvania, and I worked at Lowe's at nights. And so I got fired from Lowe's because I was in the back doing unloads, and I was on the forklift. And you know, like when you load and unload carpets, it has like this big long pole attachment on the front of a forklift. It's like 12 feet long. It's huge. And I was in the unloading area, and me and this other guy, I'm not going to say his name, but it doesn't really matter. He doesn't even work there anymore. His name's Mike. I was doing donuts, and he was doing jumping jacks, or like jumping over the carpet thing, and then they caught us on camera. I got fired. I don't know if he got fired. Tarnished Viking, happy Memorial Day to you. Steven says, Klesh, I'm just curious of why you didn't use dowel pins on your workbench top before you glued it up. That's a good point. A good question. For one, I do not have a drill press, and I do not have one of those dowel jigs. I've been looking at them, but I don't have the right jig. And I didn't want to mess it up, basically. I don't have the correct tools, would be your answer. Wake up, idiots, now. Best time to kill weeds is in the fall. Okay, but springtime and fall works depending on whether or you want to overseed. When best time to overseed cool season grasses, fescues, and bluegrass is in August, September. Okay, after 4 to 6 mowings of the new grass, it is then considered mature. When the new cool season grass lawn is mature, it will take the weed control. Okay, I'll have to try to remember that. The finished boards are such visual ASMR. Yeah, they are. Wait till you see some of the guitar stuff that I end up doing. I mean, it's like glass, but natural wood. It's so cool. Duke Nukem just reattached the handle itself and and throw in some magnets to hold the door shut. You got it done. Thank you, Duke Nukem. That's a great idea, and I'm surprised I didn't think of it myself. Appreciate it. LOL at the plywood sticker. That's going to be a beast of a workbench. Good morning, brother. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks to you, to the 645,000 souls. Those dandelions are edible. Mix some butter and garlic. Use those mushrooms. You have a decent and healthy side dish. God bless you and your family. Thank you, Chip. ScooTube. I run the Makita RP2301FC exclusively in my router sled. It's an absolute beast. I use an Amana carbide insert bit for flattening. That is the big 3.25 horsepower router. I know which one he's talking about. That's kind of like what I was looking for the other day, and nobody had anything big. Like, I kind of don't want to waste my money on non-Festool items at this point. It's just I've used Makita before. I've used Porter Cable and Milwaukee and all these brands, but when it comes to Festool, it's just like butter. But I appreciate that. And that's a Mana carbide insert bit. That would be... They're the ones that have the separate inserts, right, that you can change out. That's actually a great investment. I'll have to see about that. Secret Creek Prospecting. Will you have a small refreshment or cold drink refrigerator in your man cave? Oh, yeah. Dude, when I was at a pawn shop today, I was actually looking at one, but it was like a little refrigerator with a glass front so you can see in it, but it was for wine bottles. So it had like the wine bottle racks in it. I almost bought it. It was like $85, but I was like, it's not exactly what I want. One with like little shelves in it for like soda, like RC Cola and stuff. Deb A, can you order a 1400 online? No, you can't. Or ask the store special order. Yes, I did. So I'm on a list. There's so many people. Like right now, Festool is not even building these things, so they're impossible to get right now. According to the guy at Woodcraft, the guy who runs the Festool department, he said that they're not making them right now. So it's like, all right, I'm trying. I'm on a list, and if I get a phone call, I will head down there and pick it up. John Wilson likes it. Josiah Hall, you can also search for quarter turn latch or panel latch or compression latch for the, he's talking about the handle for the sander. MS, welcome back. Appreciate you watching. Josiah says, MSC has every type of handle you can think of. Granger, too. Yeah. Well, we figured it out. Let me move this up a bit. David Simon, Q-Lux, 2-piece chrome zinc alloy handle. Okay, yes, I read this before. Yes. Clint said the broken handle looks a bit like a toolbox or switchboard handle. Maybe you ask your electrician friend. Good point. Good point. Raymond says, watching all the video, I know it's important for me I know it's important to me for people to watch my crappy guitar videos to the end. Mine are 2 minutes and less and still can't get people to watch completely. Yeah, that's the trick about YouTube, is keeping the engagement of people watching. If you're watching this far into the video of me just rambling, then I commend you, because that's not easy to do. I wouldn't sit here and watch me, but you know, it's what I do. So anyway, hope you enjoyed today's extended video. I bet it's like, well, let's see how long. 21 minutes of talking. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.